And the next recruit that Patrick and I are going to be talking about today is a 6'4", 190 wide receiver out of Peoria, Arizona, Liberty High School, Ryan Jezioro. He, I believe, is former teammates with Leighton Vining, as Leighton Vining, I believe, also came from Liberty as well. Patrick, what are your? I know you've kind of talked to me about Ryan before in the past, but you seem very excited that Idaho got Ryan to sign for them.
Yeah, guys, this is one of the recruits I'm the highest on out of the full class. This dude is 6'4". He's one of the fastest players in the class, just like eye test wise. He's 6'4", makes everyone else on the field look super slow. He's always open, especially like his deep route running is like extremely crisp for someone that's 6'4". You know, typically maybe they have speed, but they're not the crispest route runner. Ryan's not that guy, dude. He can stop on a dime. He's a great route runner at 6'4". Like you just don't see that very often. Like his agility, his speed is something you don't see very often, especially with an FCS recruit. He's just like whenever he runs deep, he always has 5 to like 8 yards of separation almost every time. I'm super excited about Ryan. The other thing is he has really like eye pop and ball skills as well. He's just, to me, he is an overall extremely exciting recruit that you know you don't see that kind of talent very often. Excuse me. I will say he reminds me a lot of a guy from Eastern, Freddie Roberson. He's one of those like really deep threat type guys that's just explosive and tall, long, explosive guy that every once in a while he'd have the dropsies in Freddie Roberson. That's something that if there's anything about Ryan that can concern me a little bit, he reminds me a lot of like Talolo Limu Jones and Freddie Roberson, who are both guys that were apt to a drop there too. Shout out to the 2021 game in the Kibby Dome when Eastern got beat. Anyways, because he has a little bit of a habit to catch the ball with his body instead of his hands. But like other than that, dude, he's just a complete package at that receiver, and I think he's another one of these guys. Like I feel like I've said this so many times. I think he can compete for a spot like next year. Like there's not another. Just off the top of my head, there's not another receiver really built like him stylistically that got playing time last year. That is here next year. Like I guess Terez was kind of similar, but I think Ryan to me looks like a faster Terez that is just more explosive overall. I guess maybe a Michael Graves could be a similar comparison, but I'm so excited for Ryan. I think he's going to be one of the Vandal great receivers.
I know he kind of committed late, so I didn't do as much watching of his tape, but kind of I trust Patrick's comparisons and analysis on these ones. He's been good on these before. Shout out Only Tubs if you want to get more analysis on these type of recruits. Please subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Tubs of the Club to get analysis from Patrick. Plus also talk to other Vandals talk to Vandals about everything. And also get insider news before it gets reported as well. It's just another big wide receiver. I've noticed kind of I'm excited for you describing him in the past. Like the first 3 minutes has made me very excited for Ryan, and I can't wait to see him put on the Vandal uniform in fall camp.
Yeah, it's just the speed that goes along with the size is what gets me so excited. Like it's not like Tony Hart's, for example. He's 5'11" and fast. Bryan is 6'4" and fast. He's going to be one of those matchup nightmare type guys for Idaho. Like, most FCS corners are not going to be big enough to stop his ability to go get the ball in the air. And he's going to be fast enough that if you match him up with a safety, he's going to run by him. Like that, I'm so excited for that. There's been a lot of like kind of tall, lanky recruits this recruiting class. but I think Ryan is different. I think he's going to be one of the better receivers we've had here at Idaho. And another thing that I really appreciated is he had a whole section of his highlight tape that was just blocking on the edge. Blocking for wide receiver screens, blocking on the edge to spring guys loose for big runs. He makes solid blocks. Like, he looks good. It's good to see that on the edge, because I think it's important for receivers in Idaho's scheme to be able to block on the edge, just because of Jason X likes to run his tunnel screens and his little swing routes out to the receiver or out to the running back, stuff like that. That you need your receivers to be able to make a block, and I think he's able to make a block like that.
Oh yes, and sorry. Any final thoughts you have on Ryan before we move on to our next signing, Patrick?
No, he's one of those guys that I was like, Idaho got this guy. Like, I thought he had FBS type potential, and I'm so excited.
Awesome, and with that, we're moving on to our next signing.